Welcome to Tamara Research Writing Guides. I'm Elpies, your AI-supported instructor. In this video, we will learn how to write a great informal essay. Subscribe before we move on so you never miss a video. So, what's an informal essay? Well, it's like having a friendly chat with your friends. You don't have to be super formal, but that doesn't mean you can be careless either. In a formal essay, you explain your thoughts with formal words. But in an informal essay, you get to speak directly to your reader in a conversational style. To understand the difference between the two types of essays, take a look at the table on the right. You can see that an informal essay uses first-person pronouns, is lightly structured and personal, and aims to entertain by telling a personal story using daily expressions. Let's dive in and learn more about informal essay writing, starting from a well-written informal essay example. Now let's see a 5-paragraph example of an informal essay. The writer chose Game of Thrones as their subject, which is very suitable for an informal essay. The essay starts with a hook sentence to grab the reader's attention. You can see references from the show, which is interesting. In the second sentence of the introduction, the writer explains the importance of the show. In the final sentence, we see the thesis statement, which states the main points of the writer's essay. Let's take a look at one of the body paragraphs. The first sentence will always be your topic sentence, meaning you need to sum up what you will talk about in that paragraph. This is followed by a more detailed sentence that explains the world of Game of Thrones and its main elements. Then, the writer closes the paragraph by highlighting the important details in the show and restating the paragraph's main points. We'll jump to the conclusion as all body paragraphs have a similar structure. It's always a good idea to start the conclusion by restating your thesis statement in other words. Then you are expected to quickly summarize all the main points in the body paragraphs and then end with a concluding sentence where you present your final thoughts and impressions. Now that we've seen a full example of an informal essay, let's see how to write one step by step. The very first step of writing an informal essay is choosing your topic. You can choose almost any topic you know and love. Think about your personal experiences and pick something you love to talk about the most. Create a list of topics you have strong opinions about, then select the one that stands out the most. For this guide, we'll focus on the topic why I stopped eating meat. Now let's continue with the next step. The second step is creating an outline. In informal essays, the structure is flexible, but it should be coherent. So, your outline can be loose and simple, just to organize your thoughts. Let's see an example to make it easier for you. As you can see, it is a simple outline consisting of the main sections of the essay: the introduction, body paragraphs, and conclusion. It's up to you if you want to divide the paragraphs into smaller sections in your outline. But we do have some tips for a great outline that will simplify the writing process. First of all, you will do research in an informal essay. If you know your findings in the outline, you will have an easier time writing the essay. Secondly, detailing your paragraphs in the outline will help you write faster. Now that we have our outline we can start writing the introduction. When writing the introduction part, you can just follow the traditional structure of an introduction paragraph. To understand it better, let's see an example introduction. As you can see, it starts with a hook sentence, an intriguing opening to our essay that has a provocative stance. It serves as an opening sentence for a personal story. In the second sentence, we see some personal insights that tell the journey which lead to our topic. It also clarifies that the stance is personal. In the last part, we see the thesis statement. A thesis statement provides the main points that will be discussed in the essay. In an informal essay, you can use I or my words in your thesis statement. Before diving into the introduction, brainstorm your idea, identify the purpose, and gather information. Include a clear thesis statement, and remember to express your viewpoint on the topic boldly. Now we are set with the introduction, let's continue with the body paragraphs. Just like any other essay type, body paragraphs are used to explore the topic further and give more details to the readers. Let's see an example of how we do this in informal essays. The first sentence of a body paragraph always states an idea, a personal decision in this case. Following this, you reveal your thoughts on this subject and state the reasons for your stance using first-person pronouns. Then in the last sentence, it is always a good idea for informal essays to connect with your readers by addressing them directly and summing up your points. This will make your essay more sincere. When writing your body paragraph, feel free to use cliches, idioms, and jargon. Keep sentences short and straightforward. Create a connection with the reader by using a relaxed tone, transition words, and sentences. Lastly, keep in mind that this is still an essay even if it is informal, so don't overdo idioms or daily expressions. Now let's close out our essay by writing the conclusion. Conclusion is a very straightforward step where you need to summarize your main points in a few sentences and make a final comment. Start the conclusion by referring to the previous points in the essay. Then, refer to your reader to make your essay more relatable and add a personal touch by giving an example from yourself. Following this, we see the use of casual words, such as glow up, which is great for informal essays. In the next sentence, we see the use of I a few times, and the writer gives personal details, which is exclusive to informal essays. In the very last sentence, summarize all your main points, address your reader one more time, and give your final thoughts on the subject. When writing yours, make sure to diversify and don't make it repetitive. To have a long-lasting effect on your reader, list your key thoughts in a few sentences. After all, you want them to remember and understand your essay. Well done! You now know how to write an interesting, coherent, and relatable informal essay. That's all for today. To continue watching our essay writing guides, subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. I'm Elpis from Tamara Research, and I'll see you in the next guide.